Hopefully you've already confirmed that your microphone and/or camera do work outside of Adobe Connect, but just because they are connected and functional doesn't necessarily mean that Connect recognizes them right away. I will now show you how to set up and use your camera and microphone from within an Adobe Connect meeting space. The first thing to do is set up your audio settings. To do this, we are going to use the built-in audio setup wizard. From the meeting window, go to the menu bar in the top left and click on Meeting, Manage My Settings, Audio Setup Wizard. This will open a multi-step wizard that will guide us through the process of setting up both our sound input and output. This initial screen simply defines what the wizard does. Go ahead and click Next here to move on to Step 1. This first step will check to make sure that you are getting sound output from Adobe Connect. Click the Test button here. You should hear music. If you don't hear music, then you will want to check that your sound is turned up and not muted from the operating system settings. If you are using headphones that are plugged in through speakers, then make sure that the speakers are plugged in, turned on, and turned up. Once you hear sound, go ahead and click Next to proceed to the next step. Step 2 will ask you to select your audio input device. Click on the drop-down menu here to select your device. If you are using a USB-connected device, then you will likely see the name of your device listed here. However, if you are using a device with an analog connection, then you might see something like front input, rear input, or something similar. Click the Next button to move on to Step 3. Step 3 will test your microphone input. Click on the Record button and say a few words, and then hit Stop when you are finished. When you hit the Record button, you may get a flash pop-up menu asking if you want to allow the flash player to access your camera and microphone. Click Allow. Test 1, 2, 3. You should see a visual indication that sound is being transmitted. You can press the play button to play back your recording. This will give you a good idea of how sensitive your microphone is. If it is too loud or too soft, we will adjust that in a later step. If your microphone was not detected, then you may have selected the wrong one from the list. Try going back to Step 2, selecting another microphone, and then coming back to Step 3 and trying again. Once you are finished, click Next. Step 4 will test your microphone when you are silent and attempt to filter out any background noise. Try to remove as much noise from your environment as possible. Then stay quiet and click the Test Silence button. This test will take about 7 seconds or so. Once finished, click Next. Finally, you will be presented with the Advanced Settings button. If your microphone playback was too loud or too soft in Step 3, then go ahead and click on this button. From the Advanced Settings menu, you can adjust your microphone volume. Decrease the volume to make your voice softer, and increase it to make your voice louder. Once finished, click OK. Then click Finish. Your audio input and output should now be set up. However, you won't be able to use your microphone in your meeting unless the meeting host gives you permission to do so. Inside of this test meeting space, you have automatically been promoted to the presenter role, which grants you the ability to speak whenever you wish. We'll go over how to broadcast your voice in the next video. If you're going to use a webcam, then just like with the microphone, you will need to let Adobe Connect know about it. Go to the menu bar and click on Meeting, Manage My Settings, select Camera. This will open up a small flash pop-up with the drop-down menu. Go ahead and click on that drop-down menu, and then select your camera from the list, if it isn't already selected. Then click Close. Your camera should now be ready to use and connect, but just as with the microphone, your meeting host will have to give you permission to use your camera. Now that your devices are ready to use inside of the meeting, we'll look at aspects of the meeting interface that you will need to be familiar with in order to participate successfully. We'll cover that in our next video.